Hello, hello. Welcome, strangers. So, I'm Mozzi, and this is my stream. Hi, everyone. It's my first time being on YouTube. It is gonna be interesting. So, why am I doing this? Um, well, we're doing this for the Great Guitar Build-Off 2022, which I found about from Crimson Guitars, which is an amazing company with Ben Crow. And let's kick this off. So, why am I doing the stream? Well, I bought a guitar, a kit guitar, back in February, and I was actually going to do a stream like this for that kit guitar. And then a few months happened, and I saw something from Ben that he was doing the great guitar build off. And basically, he's said something to the effect of if more people would make weird YouTube videos of their weird ideas, it would be awesome. So I kind of took that as a challenge, because why not? And I had already bought this guy right here. And so basically, we just turn this into a real deal. So I've entered the contest and we're going to start it up today. So let's take a look at what we've got. All right. Switchy. Here we go. So, got this guy from Harley Benton. It is a HB Electric Guitar Kit JA. And so that's either Jazzmaster or Fender Jaguar. And it's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Let's open it up. Look at that beauty. Oops. All right, let's get the top out of here. Oh yeah, that's amazing. So I got this guy for rather cheap and expensive, I guess. I got this for under $85 from Harley Benton. It was shipped, built in Germany, and it got here in less than a week. And that's amazing because I've wanted one of these style guitars for a while. All right, let's go through it. So we're going to use all of the stock parts that came with this guy and add a little extra. So, all right. Switch to the other camera real quick. Here we go. Okay, let's talk about this guitar. First things first with this guy. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to follow Ben Crow's video for Crimson Guitars, and we're going to follow it. It's the video of basically how to make a guitar, a kit guitar, amazing. And that seems like the perfect point for me to be able to. Sorry, I just looked at myself on screen. It's weird. But basically, with his video, he goes through, he takes one of his kit guitars and makes it awesome. So he files the frets, does all the little nitty gritty things that you need to do to really make it an awesome guitar. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to film the whole thing, and I'll be live streaming every second of it, basically. Um, Now, let's talk about something else. My inspiration for this build. So my favorite, I have mainly two favorite guitars. Number one would be Brian May's Red Special. That's Brian May of the band Queen. He has, it's like a mythical guitar. It's like Thor's hammer, but it's real. And he's still alive and kicking. And it's got like, I think, 10 replicas of his own guitar. Um, so what we'll do is we're going to go through his guitar in a later video, and I'm also going to go through another guitar, which is Les Paul's personal recording guitar, and that's Les Paul being the guy that created the electric guitar along with Leo Fender, and also created multi-track recording, which is really cool, and started Gibson. So he had a crazy guitar with a microphone attached to it and just a bunch of interesting things. And so I've kind of taken different thoughts between that guitar and the Brian May guitar and we're going to make this beast. So we're going to call it the Reverberator. The Reverberator. Behold the Reverberator! Okay, let's go through all these parts now. So, got our nice pickguard here, real nice with the tortoise shell, and we're going to be cutting this up to turn it into more of a jaguar or the three-part pickguard where they have a cut about right here and then a cut over here. And I'm gonna switch back down to here. Do do do. All right. So your standard Jazzmaster really has got. Here we go. That's fancy. Okay. All right. So we've got our pickguard here. We've got all this goodness. Three-way switch for the pickup selector. We've got our volume and tone. Do not need this. I have cables. And now I just want to point out, really? Inlay? Who gets inlay on their neck for a kit guitar that is very inexpensive? And this will be fun too. We're gonna carve this bad guy. Not sure how yet, but maybe the viewers can help. So we've got two stock P90s, which we're gonna use. Why not? I've never had P90s, and I would like to hear how they sound and mess with them. So we're gonna have those in there, but we're gonna get to the crazy part here. So I bought some pickups online off of Reverb, and they are my favorite pickups. Say my favorite, I've never actually listened to them. It's more in theory and in design. So it's a company called Lace, I believe it's Lace Music, Lace Pickups. They make amazing, amazing guitar pickups. And I'm going to show you some right now. Boop. So, this little guy right here, this, there we go. This is a lace sensor, and it's a fancy lace sensor. This is the Alumitone pickup. So it doesn't actually have a coil like a normal pickup does. In fact, let's see, I think I have a pickup around. Yeah, I do. Grab one of these guys. Show you the big difference. So this is actually a cigar box guitar pickup that I picked up for $5. And most pickups are kind of made like this, where you have your magnet in the center, or at times it'll be on the bottom. And then inside, behind this layer here, is your copper coil going all the way around. Now, with this little guy, there's no coil. So this entire piece is acting as two magnets, and then inside of here, they've actually put a coil. And so, yeah, I bought 5 of these guys for $150 off of Reverb, and none of them are working. However, if I can get just one of them to work, then we have a working pickup, which is worth about 200 bucks, or I think they're 120 maybe. Yeah, still, if I get one or two of these working, it's absolutely worth it. All right, getting off track. This is my first time streaming. So let's talk about the overall design now. Let's talk about the craziness. What I'm going to do is we're going to take a reverb tank and put it inside the guitar. Why? Why not? I've always seen the Fender Strats, and in the back they've got those springs for the tremolo, right? And that guitars with that tend, in my opinion, they have an additional resonance because you basically have a built-in spring reverb. So why not make a better one? And then to make it even crazier, we're going to add a sustainer pickup, also known as, I think it's trademarked, but Sustainiac. We're going to use these lace sensors and use one as our input from the strings, and then shoot it right back out of one of these into the strings. And it's going to be amazing, I think. Um, in fact, we're going to test some of this stuff out during the next stream. So that's what we have on the agenda there. All right, we're 15 minutes in here, and weird, right? Weird. All right, let's get on to some other things. Um, New thing I'm gonna do. Real excited about this. I've got pushback cloth covered cable wire. So we're gonna use that for the entire build, just to make it fancy. And then, I mean, really additionally to the sustainer pickup and the reverb tank, we're really only going to add, we're changing the tone into a, it's going to be tone, but it's going to have an on-off switch. And then we're going to have treble bleed also with an on-off switch. And then our typical pickup selector. And then one of these guys is going to be a phase reverse, because phase reverse is awesome in my opinion. So, and if you see right here, we have this beautiful thing, and we're going to make our pickguard with this laser cutter. And I'll do it all here, show you how we do the whole thing. It'll be amazing. And then, all right, let's see what other parts we got here. So with that reverb tank, we're going to have a few different configurations. So we're going to use this selector switch, this giant selector switch right here. And we're going to basically have this act as a rotary switch, because that's, what the hell? That's weird. Never seen that before. The actual uh, piece right here, it looks like almost, well, it's damaged. I mean, it shouldn't make any difference in the functionality or of it, but kind of annoying. Anyways, um, weird. Anyways, so with this guy, what we're going to do is we're going to have it, it's going to be off, then sustain on, then reverb on, then both. And then we're going to have a three-way selector switch right here that is going to be for the reverb. And what that's going to do is we're actually going to have two, well, there's kind of going to be two reverb tanks inside of there. At least there's going to be the short and a long spring so that we can get different sounds out of it. And this is going to work the same way as a pickup selector switch would, except between those, the short and the long reverb. So we got that. And we've got a bunch of these tiny little potentiometers from StompboxParts.com. Thank you, John. And what's fancy about these is they're just so tiny. Look at that. I'm going to be able to fit a lot of these next to each other inside of that guitar, which will be necessary because there's a lot more functionality that I haven't mentioned yet. Like we need to be able to increase, decrease the level of drive for the amp that's going to run the sustainer. Same thing for the reverb. And if possible, I want to see if I can change maybe the tightness of the reverb. So the tightness of the spring itself. I'm not sure how well we're going to pull that off, but we'll see. All right, what's next? So, got some challenges here. Here's two of our springs. This actually was pulled off of a boom mount for a microphone. So I've got two of those. We've got a bevy of other types of springs here as well. And let's see when I can get those. I'll get those and then we'll mess with those later. Yeah, that's right. I'm in sweatpants. Deal with it. All right. I fear it's only been 20 minutes and I'm not sure what to do. One thing, I like my logo. It's pretty sweet, right? I think it's pretty sweet. My little fancy background here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and add something basically every stream. I would have had a 15-minute countdown at the beginning of this stream, but apparently I exported it last night during the 4-hour render time it was going to take and forgot to export the audio with it. So that's fun. Also, there's some fun stuff that happened in After Effects that I noticed after the fact, so I've got to fix that. But this is going to be really cool. I'm really excited. We're going to build this kit guitar and make it look and sound really cool. And yeah, might make a second one. Might make a second one and possibly do a giveaway because why not? You know, these kits are real inexpensive, and yeah, they're really amazing. They've got Telecaster kits. They've got, I think they even have a, no, it's not a kit, but they have a red special replica, which is funny, along with some other replicas, and strange guitars. But all right, so let's go ahead and pull some of the stuff out, get it unwrapped. So one thing I would like my viewers, whoever they are going to be, to do is help me with the design in terms of the aesthetics. I want, how do we make this look like the Reverberator? That's what needs to be figured out next. Well, not next, but during the process, we'll need to figure that out. And I think I may actually have to. No, I'd probably keep this pickguard. Yeah. And we just make 2 modifications to it, and that'll be fine. So, in terms of, I gotta stop saying so much. Yeah. So if you guys can think of anything in terms of a design that says reverb or reverberator to you, I want this to look like a mythical guitar. Like that would be a nice goal. Mythical. What is that popping sound? Why does that keep happening? I don't like the popping. Stop popping. Is that this thing? Well, we'll be figuring our audio setup as we go. So yeah, one idea I had for the design was to use a protractor. You remember one of those things? You put the pencil on one side, it goes like this, and you can draw a circle with it. So I was thinking if I could use one of those and kind of do different sizes of half circles going across this in different ways, like different sizes as well as like little different angles. We'll do that. And I think that could make it look really cool because it's going to be blue and or purple. That's what we're going for because those are my favorite colors. Yep. And we're also going to make some knobs for this bad boy. I'm going to try to use a silicone mold to cast some resin knobs for this bad boy. That's another goal. We have a lot of goals here. Lots of goals. Lots of goals. Get some music on the stream, hopefully next week. So it's not so quiet. And figure out where this mic should go in my face. That's just pretty. Simply pretty. Alright, well, we've got to figure out what to do next because I have a lot more time to waste. So one of the things I want to do here is we're gonna, obviously turn this into three pieces. Um, and while I'm here, let's go ahead and let's place some of these so we can get an idea of what it looks like. Get this guy probably around here-ish. Cut it here. And we're gonna need 3 potentiometers here, so this might not work. I don't know if I want to put a third one in the center there. That seems a little odd. What to talk about? I can talk about Ben Crow and his amazing guitars. Ben Crow has, man, that dude's a beast. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm online. Alright, well, I think today we're going to cut this off at about a 30-minute stream because I'm running out of things. And may come back tomorrow and do some more. Who knows? Do some more advertising so we can get some more people to show up. Well, not advertising. I'm not going to spend money. It's not the point of this. And maybe when we're done, if I have followers by the end of this build, then we could do like a raffle for charity. Or not raffle, not a raffle. Do an auction or something like that for charity. Get some money to Ukraine or somewhere else that needs some help. No shortage of that, right? And so additionally, on this stream, I'm going to be doing woodworking, soldering and electronics, working with Arduinos. That'll be fun. And like for instance, I'm going to make a stream deck. Not an actual stream deck, but we're going to make our own. In fact, I can grab part of it. Been building this case. Wanted to use it for a synthesizer, but what I think I'm going to do is turn this into my little stream deck. We'll put some buttons on the top here, and they'll just hang out and help me do things on the stream, so I don't have to actually use a mouse, because that's annoying. It's annoying. Alright, everyone. Well, thanks for joining me for my first ever stream. It's been fun, and yeah, we're going to do it again next week. And maybe I might even do some stuff in between now and then. Uh, yeah, we'll see what happens. But everyone, have a good one. I'll see you next time.